Hello, I'm Jasmine Benoit, and today I'm going to talk about the importance of youth peer advocates in mental health services. So I am a youth peer advocate. I've kind of explained what the role is before, but I'm kind of going to touch base again and kind of just give a little refresher for everybody or anybody new that's tuning in. So a youth peer advocate uses their lived experience to provide services for youth in their surrounding communities. So you use your experience in mental health systems such as inpatient hospitals, outpatient therapy. You can use your juvenile justice experience. You can use the special education experience in your schools. Anything like that qualifies you for a position. And the counties that I work in currently are Orleans, Genesee, and Monroe. There's quite a lack of youth peer advocates in these counties. In Monroe County, I want to say there's about 4 youth peer advocates. I might be a little bit off on the numbers. I know of at least 2, and I believe there's 2 others employed with other agencies at the moment. And then in Orleans and Genesee, I am the only youth peer advocate. And this actually differs a lot of people from the service, in which I believe is very helpful. So with the lack of youth peer advocates in Orleans and Genesee County, we usually get about 3 or 4 referrals every few months from them, whereas if we look into Monroe County, we're getting about 15 referrals. And due to this, a lot of people are missing out on the service. So I think it'd be really important to get more in place with all these agencies and to be able to use that lived experience as an amazing asset to the service. So I've been working in the field as a youth peer advocate for about 1 year now. And I just want to talk about some things that I've done, some things that my youth have said, and just kind of all around what the importance of having them is. So, as a youth peer advocate, I've actually created a group. So I run a youth peer advocate group in which I've created the entire curriculum, and I run it in 2 locations. I run it out here in the Western region for my youth, and then I also run it out in Rochester so that everybody gets an equal opportunity to attend it. I also work to make treatment plans, and I work to try to keep the service as fun as possible. That's a big thing that I like to do. We like to play a lot of games. We like to do some worksheets. We like to just talk. We like to kind of just chit-chat. Whereas a lot of the youth that I work with say they aren't able to do that with any of their other services. Their other services are a little bit too head-on, and they feel like they constantly are being asked, well, why do you feel that way? Well, what makes you think that? Instead of with the youth peer advocate, we get to play games. And as you're playing games, you actually don't notice, but you begin to talk more. You could be playing a card game right now, and we're just playing, and you're starting to win, so you're getting a little cocky, and you're saying like, oh my goodness, I'm doing so good, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, when I played this card game when I was at Strong, this happened, and then you're slowly diving into things that you don't even realize you're talking about, which is a really nice asset of the youth peer advocate services. Another important thing about the youth peer advocate services that my youth have told me, it's very nice to have somebody your age. Usually when you're going into therapy, you're sitting down, you're talking to somebody who's in, I would probably say, early 30s, mid 40s, usually not anybody younger than that. So with that, we really have the issue of that connect. If I'm walking in and I'm talking about these stupid problems that I feel like I have being 16 because so-and-so is bullying me and my parents won't buy me a car, whereas when you were 16, things were completely different. There's a very big disconnect with the age difference that we see quite a bit. And there's been extremely high results with having youth peer advocates and the engagement. There will be times where you will meet with your therapist the same day you meet with your youth peer advocate. And the therapists are only able to do about 30 minutes of face-to-face. And I work with youth who only do the 30 minutes of face-to-face once a week with their therapist, but they meet with me for an hour each day. So that's 5 hours a week of face-to-face opposed to the 30 minutes a week. And with that, that's increasing engagement, that's increasing the more services they have, and they're able to have more fun with it. They always tell me how much more fun the youth peer advocate service is and how much more they'll be able to get out of it. So I think it's very important that we put more youth peer advocates in place so that everybody has an equal opportunity to the service. Like I said, I am the only one for Genesee and Orleans County, so everybody out here is kind of at a disadvantage because I am also spread out in Monroe. I think currently I only have about 3 youth on my caseload from Orleans County. I don't even have any from Genesee at the current moment. So with this, I really think it's important that we implement these mental health services around all of the counties surrounding us, even our small towns, because I know when I was going through everything in Kendall, there wasn't many support services in place. It was kind of, you could go to therapy, but that was it. But the youth peer advocate, they come in home, so you really can't avoid them, and they work with you, and they're very big about meeting where you're at. That is the big goal of the youth peer advocate service, is to meet you where you are at, and that's a big thing that I try to make sure I do. So overall, I think it's really important that we keep youth peer advocates and increase the amount of youth peer advocates in all of the communities in our area.